What is going on here?
I got
We're a bunch of
I
amateurs.
don't have my fancy setup. I was in a hurry today, so I don't have any fanciness. You don't get any fancy lighting. Hey, you get like half lighting. It's barely even lit.
Yeah, you're pulling a Joe.
Yeah. We were just BSing, right? And I look up and it's like 19 seconds. I'm like, oops. So,
time to start.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got a new lamp. Watch, I'll turn it off. This is what you're used to.
Oh,
better, right?
I
thought it was just heaven shining down on your face.
Yeah, I feel like the whole production has been upgraded like significantly.
Do you know what's funny? It's not a new lamp at all. It's been up there ever since I made this my hobby room. I just never used it.
Just never turned it on.
Turn it on.
Yeah. It even says long-lasting LED.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
My light.
We are Thin Line Defense. I'm Cody. You got Walsh in the middle. Joe. We are coming to you live. We do this every Thursday at 8:30. So this is our opportunity to kind of review our videos or YouTube videos that we put out during the week. Kind of chit chat with you guys one-on-one. And a lot of our OGs come in and shoot us off the rails and bring up all kinds of craziness. And we just chit chat for about an hour and a half. So if you're new, welcome. Consider subscribing. And I see some.
Go. Sorry, go. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I see a couple of our OGs popping in right now.
Oh,
we got Bravo Tack.
I see Dad in there. If you guys are, so we started this last week. This is a good opportunity for you to get all your gear out and get decked out. And then if your wife yells at you or your whoever your significant other is, they yell at you. I'm watching the tactical live stream for Thin Line Defense. We all wear our gear, so then you have an excuse to wear it.
Yeah, and do jumping jacks. I can't, or else I'm not on camera. Do jumping jacks.
See, Zach sent me some pictures pre-stream. He was already ready to go.
Dang, Dan. Damn, Daniel.
Daniel.
Hey, I'm glad you jumped in for a couple seconds at least. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
So one thing we need to, we may switch these over to a podcast at some point. So Cody, just make sure we read the comments so that if we ever switch these over,
to good podcast, point. Yeah,
we can make sure to capture all that.
Johnny Nash, how you doing?
That is our. He yelled at me more than my real dad.
Yeah, good to have you here. Appreciate it. Coming from Facebook, that's awesome. He puts "Dad is here."
Yeah, of course it's on Facebook. Probably yelling at clouds over there.
No, I see him all the time doing like CrossFit and stuff. He's jacked.
He's been murdered.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to piss off Johnny Nash now.
No. He's not lumpy now. I don't know if he was ever lumpy.
So Zach he's been drinking side straddle hops are out. Yeah, I ain't doing that either. So we had I don't know, the week kind of went by fast. And to be honest with you, that's what we were talking about before we came on. I was like, I'm completely lost. I was talking about a video that Walsh put out last week. And so I'm lucky that.
About it, though. Maybe they can correct us in the comments if we did talk about it. Listen, did we talk about the Odin IR light last week? I don't think we even brought it up.
No, you brought it up and things upcoming at the end of the video, I think.
Maybe it came out on Friday. Maybe that's why
you talked about your really cheap crummy night vision that you were gonna do.
Yeah.
So I'm not off. It did come out Friday, so it came out after the live chat.
Yeah, my mistake. So I'm just confused. Yeah, that was last weekend.
So really, I'm the only one that's tracking. I'm the only one that knows what's going on, as usual.
And you're the only one without a vest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Odin IR, I know Joe hasn't got to see the video. Super crappy night vision though. So there's this weird. I don't know if there's a market for it. I'll be honest with you. For budget night vision IR illumination, I don't think that market exists. I kind of say that in the video too. Something interesting about the IR for the Olight is it normally has like a pretty nice cone of its light. Like it splashes pretty good. The IR is just like a straight floodlight. So pretty useful indoors. I think it could be it could be too bright. Like when I was in like really confined spaces, like my stairs. Joe, you'll see it later when you watch, but like the stairs was like super bright. But then outside, since there wasn't really a cone, it was just kind of illuminated everything.
Yeah.
So it was an odd choice, but I haven't played with a lot of IR illuminators to know, like, yeah, this is good and that's bad. And I didn't really even make a recommendation. I kind of said that I don't even know what I'm talking about because I don't know enough of them to.
It's hard. I know that I saw the Streamlight IR laser and light on sale for like $320 or something like that, $360 this last week, which I think would be a really good light, but you need the nods and I don't have them. So
yeah, and my first gens are okay. They're okay, but they need a lot of IR illumination to work.
And a lot of people think that IR is like super special and you have to get all this super special equipment. It's not. Like, ask Cody. For our IR that they sent us to Afghanistan with, we had a regular flashlight, and it was literally just a lens cap that you put over top of the flashlight. Yeah. And you would open it up and have a regular flashlight, and you close it, and now it's IR. It was just a filter, like literally a filter. Yeah, so I don't know why companies aren't making that. Then you could have your super awesome flashlight that you pay $300 for or whatever, and just put a filter on it.
So Mike Hawkswallen says the nods in my video reminded me of a 1988 Navy SEALs movie, and somebody else made the most hilarious comment. They're like, "Walsh, I like you and I like your videos, but you totally remind me of a 1980s movie villain."
Weren't those some night vision like you got with a video game or something?
No, those ones. So there are the crappy Call of Duty ones, but mine are legit Gen 1s. I got it for Christmas, hilariously, like before, like 20 years ago. Okay. I used to use them out at my parents' property, and we go hunt coyotes with it. Mental note, that's when I learned that hunting with night vision is halfway impossible. Their eyes would light up, but then it was like impossible to line up the sights to even shoot at them.
Yep, you need an IR laser for that.
They make that whole sound, like the splinter cell sound, like when you turn them on, like beep, but the sound doesn't go away. Like, it doesn't stop. Like it's that annoying sound the entire time. So I could go get them and just play that sound the whole time, and y'all are gonna last about 10 seconds.
Do they interfere with your headsets? That's normally a problem too.
No, I think it's because I got everything hardwired that it doesn't interfere with anything. But with comms, it could. The comms, I didn't actually try and do radio transmission. It could.
Zach was telling Harry or Mike or whatever we're gonna call him this week that he forgot about that Navy SEAL movie. That's not a bad movie. It's got some B-list actors in it. It was pretty good. Navy SEAL.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
I don't know that exactly.
I haven't seen it.
Chris Crawford saying, "Where's the love for HRT?"
It's over there. We do love HRT. It's just over there. I happen to just have this one because I'm working on this.
Oh yeah, the placard that you're gonna send me.
Yeah. What's funny is I was talking to the guy over at Defense Mechanism yesterday, and I said to him, I go, hey, I'm loving this placard setup, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have purposely not told Joe about it because he's going to steal it from me.
What did he say?
He started laughing. Yeah. He's like, let me know when the review's done. So, yeah, I'll talk. Yeah. This stuff is awesome. So, I hope you guys like the video.
Look.
So, did we decide, did we reach out and decide on a discount code for We the People holsters?
I don't know if we responded to him yet, did we?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Jason was working out, right?
Yeah, I was snapping.
I was sleeping. So
I know he's
put
working
in the comments below what do you want? What do you guys want the discount code to be for We the People holsters? We're trying to get you all a discount code. I got a holster. I made like a quick 5-minute video. You guys are gonna hate it because it's super simplistic. It's coming out soon. But put down in the comments what you want the discount code to be.
Yeah,
it has to start with TLD, and it can't be inappropriate, but something easy to remember.
The Wizards.
The Wizards, yeah, don't. I can't spell wizards. No, I'm lying.
If you guys hadn't noticed too, so we kind of broke the normal mold with nicknames, and you're not supposed to give yourself a nickname. And I reached out to the guys.
No, that's inaccurate. You can't assign your own call sign. That's the rule. You can't assign your own call sign. if you come up with an idea and everybody else thinks that it fits, then that's fine. You're allowed to give suggestion, but you can't assign. You can't be like, from now on, guy, I'm going to be called this, and then be mad when you're not because we didn't agree on it. But we agreed on that one.
Look at
I think it's a good one.
So they all agreed. They all agreed. A good call sign for me is Wizard, and we were going to do a number, but we thought what would be funnier is there'll be another accompanying patch, but it'll be the level. So like maybe at like next video, I'll be like level 11.
Yeah.
Slowly go
Depending on Walsh does, how he shoots or what he does or the video he makes, it's going to go up or down. Dude, you lost 10 wizard points.
Yeah, I'll be like,
You
dang it.
lost
I
10
gotta,
wizard
I gotta like
points.
switch it out for a lower level one. Like, great.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And if he ever gets up to level 100, y'all watch out.
Yeah.
Y'all watch out.
It's over. I can say whatever. I'll be the grand poobah at dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too good.
What
What
else?
Did we talk about? Oh, we did the comm video. So I know a lot of people were waiting for that comm video. What were you guys' impressions about the comms? What was helpful? What was useless?
I liked it. I think you went through the different, price ranges. I like that aspect of it. I like that you just kept hammering out, like, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your gear. You have to know how to use your comms, and you have to know how to program that stuff. You have to know all that. And you got to think about, like, you're using a computer program to program the comms, right? Well,
Yep.
But if you're ever at the point where you have to use comms, you probably don't have that computer anymore, or it doesn't work, or you can't find power, whatever it may be.
That's something I said. I was saying how it's so hard to program out in the field. You can, but it's literally like you probably saw all those fields. You have to program them one field at a time for every single channel. So programming like 10 channels would probably take you like 2 hours.
Right.
You could do it. It's just horribly
My
bad.
thing, a lot of people, like, they don't sit down and take that time. And if it ever came to the point where you had to use all the comms, you better have that stuff done already, because you're not going to have time nor power nor the equipment to do all that. So yeah, I liked it. It stressed about how you need to practice this and know it. If you're going to run comms, you need to know this. But Walsh and Harcom guy for the team. So when we build our, man, I can't think tonight. What are the things called? Connex. When we build our Connex town, Walsh will be the comm guy. I'll just be like, give me a radio that works.
Speaking
And
of,
when it doesn't, I'll just hit it and be like, my comms don't work. I'll yell to you.
It's broken.
It's broken.
Yeah.
I broke it. We need
I'll
to
signal with a flashlight.
We need to get our ATAC server going. And so just so everybody knows, once I get the ATAC server, it's already running. Me and Cody were on it for a long time. And I think we just uninstalled it. But we need to get the whole team on it. And I'll end up getting it out to everybody in the live chat so they can actually join it too. And then we'll all be in like the same group and can track each other. It's really pretty cool stuff once you actually like turn the app on. Like you connect into the server and then you can turn it on. And then you can see everybody and communicate through the app too.
So Johnny Nash is past his bedtime. He's gonna go night-night.
Bye.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you, Nash. I'm sure I'll run into him. I always see him everywhere.
Where at?
Yeah.
I thought he's in Oklahoma.
Yeah, when I was down there.
Okay.
That's the old Oklahoma time.
Yeah. What else updates? So I did run in this plate carrier. It was the night after that I ran in the other plate carrier, and I was bad. I had chips and dip that night, like an hour before my run. So either this was compressing my chest and making it really hard to breathe, or I had really bad heartburn. I don't know, because I don't really get heartburn, so I don't know the difference. I think it was really bad heartburn. But here's the deal. Whenever I put this plate carrier on with the plates in it, I barely feel the weight of the plates. This, to me, is a really good setup. I'm glad that it worked out like this. That's what I wanted to do anyway. This is a really good setup for like, kind of like, I call it a tank load. So if you want to put a whole bunch of weight, all your mags, like 7 full AR mags and pistol mags and comms and everything else, like if you want a full kit loadout, this is a great plate carrier to do it with, because I feel the weight of the plate across my entire chest and across my entire back. The Gray Ghost that have the 2 strips on it, that creates pressure points. So you feel all the weight on the two strips of padding, but it raises it off of your chest to where physical activity is a lot easier. It is a lot harder to breathe in this when I'm running. I'm going to try, don't quote me on it. I'm going to try to go again tonight. I'm being lazy, but I'm going to try to go again tonight and do 2 miles in this carrier again, just to see if it was heartburn or feeling this plate. I had to walk twice during that run. I still averaged a 10:30 mile, I think.
It's not too bad.
But I had to walk twice during that run, which really made me mad. But again, either heartburn or chest pain, real bad chest pain. Couldn't catch my breath because of it. And it was the night after I had ran 2 miles in the other plate carrier, so I'm blaming it all on that.
What does that one have? What does that cummerbund have for? How does that cummerbund expand? I've noticed that's my biggest issue, is that when I have the cummerbunds that don't expand well, running in them or working out in them is usually
this doesn't stretch at all. But what it does do is the Velcro you can move, right? Yeah. So it is what it is. I did have to loosen it within half a mile into my run. I had to flip up the flap and loosen it a little bit because, man, this plate sits right on your chest. And I don't have, sorry to get weird, but I don't have big pecs. Anybody with big pecs is going to have a really bad problem with this. So this isn't going to be my fast moving setup. This is going to be my tank load. And that's what I wanted to do anyway. So keep that in mind. This is the LA police gear, by the way. I only have 2. I'm not cool like Wolf.
The bigger problem with my chest with the Gray Ghost, because it would just dig into me. Once I really got on, it was doing stuff. It was just digging into me. It's a chesticles problem.
Yeah, so I don't have that problem. Well, I haven't when running in it. I definitely feel the pressure points, but because there's that air gap, that gap in the middle, it actually helps me breathe better.
So this is a good question for you. And I don't think we've ever approached this, and you're probably reaching into that realm right now. How are you cleaning your carriers? I have my own little method, but I'd love to hear what you have.
So normally I kind of don't. You use chemical like Febreze and stuff like that if it gets real bad, but stuff like this, it doesn't have. I mean, even with the buckles, they can get wet. They're all plastic. I'll throw this sucker in the washing machine.
Oh, we will. Okay. A lot of people say
just put it on delicate. I'll just throw it in the washing machine, put it on delicate, and hang dry it.
Yeah, don't dry it in the dryer. Just hang dry it.
So something I had to do, and I don't recommend this because it makes a disaster, but I have a spray that's vinegar and isopropyl, and it will clean a carrier, but it will smell like acid death for like 3 weeks, and then it'll be perfect. And it's like,
don't go
near that thing.
Use some Febreze for in-between treatments, but if you want to take everything off of it, you can, most of them, I don't know everybody washing machine. I don't have a washer with an agitator in it. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It just uses pressured water to clean stuff. So I have no problem throwing this in that washer. Just take everything off, take all the plates out, throw it in there, and hang dry it.
Yeah, Cody, you see that?
And I do it on cold. I do it with just a little bit of soap. You can also hand wash these in a tub.
That's what I've always heard.
Go back old school. Just take a tub, fill it up with a couple gallons of water, put some laundry detergent, liquid laundry detergent in it, and then just hand wash it like old school. I mean, I wouldn't take a washboard and rub it on it, but you're just trying to get the sweat and the stank off of it. I mean,
how do you get a washboard? Like, if I wanted one, where would I get one?
An antique store.
Hey, Joe. So Bravo Tack is asking. He says that particular plate carrier looks like it's riding higher. Does it sit better than the other one?
Joe always
it's the way that I'm sitting. So right here in my clavicle or whatever you call this, right before going into your throat.
Yeah,
so it's sitting right there. These plates do stick out a little bit up here, which I don't know. It's neither here nor there. They stick out just because they're not like the super curved ones, which are fine with me. I'm pretty flat chested.
So Harry 2.0 asks, Joe, how tight do you have the shoulder straps? Maxed out to where the cushions hit both the front and the back. And I'm curious what you think, because that's how mine were when I was running that. I took the middle pad out. One of the pads is in there. I took it out because then I could get it even tighter. That's how I ran it.
Do you want me to just strip it off? I'll go off camera and talk amongst
Yeah,
yourselves.
show them how you have it set up. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go to the next question. There's a one from Toxic Gamer too. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Cody.
so Toxic Gamer 101, he said, "Hey, just had a question for Thin Line Defense Co. Don't know if this question has been asked already, but will you review the T-Rex, or sorry, T-Rex arms plate carrier? Just wondering, also dig the Agilite plate carrier, or Agilite.
Agilite. Yeah. Well, I think one day. So the full disclosure, the more support we have for the channel, people who who become Patreon supporters, when we can get a hold of gear, we buy all this stuff, and then usually I buy it, I review it, and then I sell it. So it's kind of a limit. There's a process and how much we can get in what period of time. I would love to. I think that AC1, I believe, is the plate carrier. I'd love to check it out. All the T-Rex Arms gear is always filled with drama, so I don't mind that. I kind of like Lucas. I don't know him in any way, shape, or form, but I've learned plenty from him. I think millions of people have learned from him, so I think giving him a whole lot of hell isn't quite that nice when he's probably done more than most people have. So I would love to review his plate carrier. I would love to show it off and see what it does and do my thing with it. The K19 though. This is still it's my go-to. Joe talks about how he doesn't feel any weight. I could wear 50 pounds on this thing and wear all day. I wouldn't know the difference between 5 pounds and 50 pounds. It is that good. It's the same. The K19 is the same as running the Cry SPC and the Eagle Ergo. The K19 just has it all built in already. So I love it.
Yeah, I would have bought a K19 if they were cheaper. I'll be honest with you. I have the gray Ghost because Walsh found it on sale for $120.
And I think that's the important thing to see is you want to get the best gear for your money. Yeah, you could spend $1,200 on a tier tactical crazy plate carrier, but you don't need that. Like sometimes you don't need all that. And I like how we show different tiers of different gear. And I think the Atlas, I love LA Police gear and they catch a lot of crap too, but that's a great plate carrier for what you're going to use
$80, right? It's for $80. Like if you're a contractor and headed over to the Middle East right now, don't buy this. Don't buy it. Spend your money in the gear. But that's like the difference between a police officer buying a Safariland $250 holster and then somebody else buying a $250 holster just to go to the range with. Like, don't waste your money on that. Go through 1441 gear and call it good. You know what I mean?
Like our duty-oriented team members would love a Safari gear way more than me.
Here's the best way to answer this. So the shoulder pad, I still have it in here, but it's touching on both sides. You know what I mean? I have just the plate carrier underneath, and then I have the shoulder pad here, and it's touching the buckle on both sides. But you adjust this in and out depending on your body type. And somebody asked how low I have it in the back. I'll put this back on and I'll show you. But here's the deal. You need to go online and you need to pull up some picture of the human anatomy of where your lungs and your heart sit. Your plate carrier should be covering your heart and your lungs. If it's so low on your back that a round can go through the top of your lungs and then get caught in the other plate because that's up here where it should be, but your back plate is super low, that's not going to do you any good. I'd rather have my plate carrier too high than too low. That's my personal preference. So, you know, where your lungs sit and your heart sits right here in the center, it's all right here. It's all right here. And that's what I'm protecting, front and back. I'd rather have it a little bit too high than a little bit too low, because too high, it's still covered. Your lungs are still covered at the bottom, and you can survive a gut shot a lot easier than you can survive a lung shot. So that's why I have the way that I have it.
Tony Soprano survived a gut shot, and he was septic.
Yep. All right. I'll strip this off, put it back on, and then I'll show you where I have it sitting on the front and the back.
Okay.
Not saying that I'm right. Do whatever you want to do, but I'll show you where I have it.
Level 100.
So Walsh Bravo's asking about the Ergo.
Yeah, so that's what's called. So the Eagle Industries Ergo. So if you're going to use that, just know that it hooks into the back of your plate carrier in the molly. So it actually supports the back of kind of the weight of itself and the carrier by using the molly. So that's why I complain so much when you have plate carriers that don't have rear molly, because you can't use that. And it really turns a minimalistic carrier like an LV-119 or a Cry SPC into way more load bearing very quickly. But if it doesn't have molly on the back, then throw that carrier in the trash. Andrew Shaw says he's getting his AC1. We'll be here on Saturday. I'll let you know how it feels. Andrew, I know you said you had other plate carriers too. Let me know in the comments again what you have, because then we'll have a good idea what you're comparing it against. I think you said you had a 119, but maybe I'm wrong. I always get confused with all these special crazy people.
Yeah, so Harry's saying as short as possible. Yeah. And
So,
and I know last time we talked about, your kit pinching your gut with your belt and all that other stuff. So the higher you get it, the better, especially for the tactical girth guys.
Harry, I took out that middle pad. The middle pad for me, I couldn't get the back plate high enough if I had that middle plate in. So I put the middle pad out. I wasn't that worried about it. I felt fine. Wasn't doing much anyway once I had them so smashed together like that. And then it worked out better.
Yeah. I'm going to strip off my headphones real quick and stand up. And then do a 360.
We will speak on your behalf then.
Yeah.
As you can see, Joe is now going to model what it looks like to wear his plate carrier in the appropriate fashion. As you can see, it covers his gut area. And this is his butt. Just stare at it. No, he thinks we're talking about plate carrier. Okay, you see though? See, it fits perfectly. Everyone, this pretend like we're talking exactly about it. And as you can see, right where he showed you was where you had everything covered.
Yeah, but I mean, everything's balanced, right? There's, the back plate's not lower than the front plate or any of that stuff. So he's got it all squared.
Yeah, the easiest way to see that too, and to see on your cummerbund, see how mine's straight across. If it's sitting like that, you got a problem.
Or vice versa. I like to wear my plate in the back really high, because I always think I have it too low, and then I see the cummerbund's all wackadoo, and I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm off.
What you got to do, you got to look at an anatomy chart and figure out where your lungs are in relation to your shoulder blades, and take your best guess. I mean, this looks like it's sitting high because I'm sitting down right now, number one. But it's really not that high. Yeah, if anything, it might be a little low. Yeah. It can stand to come up just a little bit, but
Fit Dad is mentioning that the multicam black K19 were listed as back in stock today. So probably not now. I'm pretty sure, but
I hope y'all got a hold of one if you wanted one, because they were waiting for those to come in for like 6 months. And if you want another one, I highly doubt it's going to happen quickly. I was laughing with talking to Zachary. And I was like, hey, you should get one. He's like, I can't. Why do I need two? I was like, that's where I'm at. Like, what would I do with two of them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I ordered that belt.
Oh, the
axle belt.
Yeah, but I still haven't heard anything. So it said that it was in stock, but after I ordered it, it said it was in stock, right? The one with the buckle. With the regular buckle, I explained it. Right. It said in stock. The other two buckles said out of stock. So I'm like, oh, they have it in stock. Boom. Ordered it. Well, then I got an email saying that it could take 6 to 8 weeks, and, priority given to military and law enforcement and all the other stuff. And I mean, technically, I'm still both. I still haven't retired, but I'm both military and law enforcement. But I'm not. Because this isn't for duty. I'm not going to take somebody else's spot that needs it for duty. This isn't for duty. I want it. I want to be a range. I want to dress up at the range. That's what I'm buying.
Range G.I. Joe.
Yeah. So it's not for duty. This isn't my duty belt. So no, I'm not going to reach out to them. But I'll let everybody know when I finally get it in. Who knows? It hasn't shipped yet, and I think it was a week or two ago.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
so Misfit has a good question for Walsh. What does the K19 need to accept the placard?
Okay, I know I have it in my video, and you can barely see it. You could do any of the placards. I could get off here. You could do any of the placard adapters. I like these ITWs because they use the 2 MOLLE and it sits completely flat. You can do any of the normal ones that connect in, but then they kind of poke outward. As you put weight on them, they bend back down, but then the whole thing kind of pops in and out. I get these from Mil-Spec Monkey, the ITW clips. They come with both this side and the other side. I don't know why I need both, but they're like $1. Where did I put that? I think it's in the K19 video in the actual comments. I linked to it. But if you go on Mil-Spec Monkey and just do the ITW, IWT, one of those, you'll find it. Then you can find these, and they're like $1 or $2, and shipping is like $1. Like I ordered a bunch of them for like $6, and it was just done. It was like cool.
But the nice thing about that plate carrier is the area for those clips, those buckles are built into the MOLLE, right? So they're already in the right orientation.
Yeah.
Whereas the one that Joe's wearing, you have to buy another little kit from Axel, is where I got mine, to kind of adapt for your plate or for your placard.
So what they're saying, the are horizontal, all the are horizontal. Walsh has some vertical ones.
Yeah.
Just like my the Gray Ghost has some vertical ones in it.
Yeah, and this is the version 2 of the K19, which I think Misfit was saying he ordered the multicam black one. Oh, I'm so glad Misfit. I knew Misfit was going to get one. I'm so proud.
Yeah. But with the plate carrier being a new hotness, I'm sure a lot more plate carrier manufacturers are going to integrate that kind of MOLLE webbing into their kits.
Yeah,
So
honestly,
be on the lookout for that
HRT, I will say this one does it well, but I think the HRT has the actual best design because it still maintains the MOLLE all the way across and then still has 2 slots. So you could literally use it as Joe has it or as I have it at the same time. So I think the HRT actually has the best design because it literally does both of all of them. I like this one too, but you're just turning on the HRT actually does both at the same time.
So we had Daniel popped in here saying he can't stay long, but he's bumping the algorithm. We appreciate that. Just know that you'll be able to go back and watch if you're interested, just to see how the rest of the conversation goes. But we appreciate you coming out and supporting us, brother. Have a good night.
That's awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming out. That's awesome. So we asked Andrew what plate carrier he has, and he says, I just have some Chinese piece of garbage I was given years ago. So not much to compare. So it's probably great. Your new carrier is probably going to be, no matter what, it's going to be fantastic. But no, we definitely want to hear what you have to say about it. Maybe maybe if it's
like this. I like the plate carrier because it cost $80. If I would have spent a bunch of money on this, I would be disappointed with it. There's a couple of things with the LA police carrier that I would change. There's a couple things. Number one, the stupid flap. See how it's all loose? Yeah. I tried to get it under there. Number two, they connect their plates. So you have the outer part, the inner part, and then the pocket for the plates, right? They should have put the Velcro on the inside of the pocket for the plates.
I mentioned that.
So you slide the plate in, you have to tuck the flap in and put it inside the pocket. So then it's not against your body. They don't. The Velcro on the inside. So you just flip it over and Velcro it there. And you have that big old extra piece of material that, yeah, it's flat against it, but you can feel it a little bit. There was just some fit and finish stuff that didn't really go well. But it's $80.
And having it connect on the outside like that too makes it so that when you go to put odd size plates in there too, it starts to do some weird stuff. Or like any other different sizes. If it doesn't,
because normally you can only go it's one size, one length. You're going underneath. Where if you went to the inside, you could tuck it all the way up and in, and then Velcro it, so it would secure the plate a little bit better.
Yeah. Right? So you could do a smaller.
Look, this is for people that don't have money for a $400 plate carrier, and that's on the cheap end nowadays. Or this is your beginner set, and as you upgrade your plate carrier and later on, then this becomes like for your family. Because what good are you if you're evacing from your house, right? That's great that you have all the cool stuff. You got all the bags, you got the bug out bags, you have food container ready to load up in your truck, and you have all this stuff. And now you take your family out of your house. from behind cover and you throw them in a vehicle, what good are you? If you're driving down the road and your child takes a round, what good are you?
Yeah.
Your spouse takes a round, what good are you? So you should have a setup for your entire family eventually. This is stuff that you add on to and build throughout your time. But this is a great, for $300, you could, for $1,000, you could outfit 3 people in your house.
That's why we don't sell anything. Like, what do I do with my old one? It's just going to go to somebody else. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like
You're going to be a good friend, I guess.
You literally size it for whoever you have in your house because you need to protect them just even more so than you. Like if I only had one plate carrier, it would suck, but that would go on my spouse and not me.
Good point. Good way to think about it.
But I don't. My wife has one from my old military days, and that's her dedicated one. That's the one that she would throw on. It doesn't have to fit great. It doesn't have to have all the stuff that I need on it. She doesn't need to work out in it. All she has to do is don this, so then she has protection, and I don't have to worry about her so much. Because if you think that you're going to protect all 3 of your kids all at once, you're dead wrong.
Yeah. Hey, so Joe, Misfit, remember last week we were giving him all kinds of tips about his carrier and things and ways to run it. I hope he reminds me what carrier he was running. I want to say it was the K19, but I don't think so. He was saying something about having something rubbing up here. So I don't think it was the K19. But he was saying, after my class, my plate carrier seemed to cause some upper back / shoulder pain. Is this normal?
Yeah, if you don't have your cummerbund too tight enough, it is normal.
Yeah, it's like we talked about.
That's why I say
you want to
I shrug,
shoulders.
And it should stay off your shoulder. Most of the weight should stay off your shoulder. If you let me put that to you. Jump around in it.
But also know
bounces, it's too loose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look
but
up
also know that's part of your body adapting, right? So your body's not used to that extra weight or the pressure points that plate carrier is putting on your body. So when Joe and I went to our deployment training, we wore that thing every day for hours and hours, and yeah, we were sore, we were tired, but at the same rate, you're gonna figure out ways to mitigate that, or okay, yeah, like Joe's saying, I need to tighten my cummerbund more to get the weight off my shoulders, or I'm getting some bad pressure on my back, and let me move the plate carrier around a little bit. So it's all on, just practicing with your gear. You'll find and figure out ways to mitigate those pressure points or any of the rubbing, and then your body will also get used to carrying that extra weight.
Yeah. And the back, like Cody's saying, when your body's not used to it, you tend to it's kind of like when one part of your body injured, you overcompensate with the other side so you can actually injure the other side. Your back's not used to having that weight. So if you were hunched over, if your shoulder were hurting, so then you're standing like this, and nobody can see me. Well, it's not plate carrier up for some reason.
Oh, that's the one he's using so that you can make comments on what he has and why he may be having the issues.
That's when you're running?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just tighten up that cummerbund, man.
I always say immediately looking at those shoulder straps, I can feel my neck hurting. Like I can be, that is going to chew up my neck.
Yeah, that's because you have a huge neck.
And that is part of it. Wizards have large necks.
Hey, make my screen big.
Oh, okay. How do I?
I don't know.
There we go. Oh, way you
go. So this is, I have this way too loose, as you can see right there, right? It's way too loose. So when I shrug up, I actually feel the whole cummerbund riding up on my sides. And when I shrug down, all this weight is on my shoulders. Mm-hmm. If I cinch this down, and I'm going to cinch it down even further. If I cinch this down, when I shrug up, it's the cummerbund no longer riding on, moving on my side. And then when I come back down, this isn't even on my shoulder right now. Now it will be when I start jumping around and running and bouncing around. It will come down onto my shoulder, but to give your shoulder relief when you're walking around in the trails or whatever, all you have to do is shrug again. It should be super tight right here. All right, I'm done, Walsh. Thanks.
No, it's fine. Yeah, and then kind of showing what Joe's talking about. If you're doing that with so if you want to do it with the K19, where we talked about how you can just tighten the straps. I know some people hate these, but they make it easy for you to loosen and tighten on the fly. So like, let's say
So
I
shrug up, and then tighten it down.
Yeah,
like,
so shrug up, and then I
you
just
have to
pull
shrug.
these straps,
And
then
that's
got
what I
it.
do. That's what I do when I put the kit on. I do this. I suck in, and then I get it pretty much as tight as I can.
Yeah, so
That's how I sit.
It's interesting too. So you hear some people talk about shoulder pads, and then you hear someone who has a lot of experience, and they're like, "Well, shoulder pads are a waste of time," and ultimately they are, because really you're trying to keep that weight off your shoulder to begin with. So when you're like, "Hey, I want a really thick shoulder pad," like, well, you're trying to get off your shoulder anyway. I mean, I get it; it's going to help you when it starts to slip down, but the whole point is to get it off your shoulders anyway.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yep.
Let me try to catch up on some of these comments. So Toxic is asking about he's also to everyone speaking or in the chat, is there a placard you recommend or like, or just posing, or you just posing the question?
So I have a bunch of them that I like. I think they're all really good. I mean, the Spiritus LB119 is really good. I mean, the MK4 is really good. The Halo Strategic DC3RM is really good. The HRT Maximus is probably the best bang for the buck, because you get everything put together with the inserts, with everything all done. But I'm going to give you my main contender right now, which is the defense mechanisms, because you can customize this thing to whatever you want all the time, and each piece only costs like 20 or 30 bucks. So instead of buying like this whole setup and you're like, well, I'm never really going to use that piece, I'm never really going to use that piece, you sub in only pieces you're gonna use.
You buy it and you're like, man, I wish there were 2 pistol pouches here instead of this big pouch. I have no use for it. All my medical equipment are here or whatever. Then you literally just take, it's like a Lego set. You take it off, and that's why I'm interested in it.
Yeah, and I think you'll really love it, Joe, because then it also comes from the price point. Like, well, how much would it cost me to add the pistol, the pistol things like I have here? You're like, oh, Joe, it's 20 bucks. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, what about if I want to run AR-10 mag? You're like, oh yeah, then you just grab an AR-10 mag base, and then you just switch all the stuff up to that whenever you wanted to. Like, oh.
And what's cool about that is all you have to do is go and buy the clips that Wolf's talking about for a couple $, and I don't have to buy one thing for my different mission sets. So if I want to put as many mag pouches as I can on it for this, my tank load, great, then I can do that. If I want to strip some of those mag pouches off and just leave them off, just have lighter weight for my my fast moving one, then I can, or I can put whatever on it.
And so what's funny is I kind of mentioned this in the video coming out Sunday, that I think defense mechanisms is some of the best gear you've never heard of. Because I started using it and I'm like, wait, hold on. Who the hell are these guys and what is this? Like, check this out. Because even like there's simple stuff like the we'll do this one. Like their expander wings. These are designed super smart, where you get all these other companies where they only really work on one side. And this is super annoying because they're like, oh, it works on one side. Well, the way they did it is there's actually like a slit down the center. So as you flip it over, the slits just goes to the other side, right? And it's all like this really thick. I mean, it's elastic, not my favorite. You can put S-Tech inserts in here if you wanted to, but so then it can go the other way if you wanted to switch sides. I even mentioned that in the video, Joe, kind of like I could just give it to you. You can put on the other side, and I could take it, just flip it over. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna put it on this side, and you could just put it in and use it the other way. And that's the same with all of their little side expansion, like the radio too. So yeah, I'm really a big fan of this one. This has kind of got my top spot right now.
Yeah. But don't just listen to us. I like that you asked everybody in the comments, because see what everybody else likes and just buy what works for you.
Yeah, I think Zach's talking about the HRT Maximus, but phenomenal placard for the money. I think that's not even for the money. I think it's a phenomenal placard, and the bonus is it doesn't cost very much. Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I'm more of a, if I was, I would set up different placards for different mission sets. Now that is I think a novel idea, and it's probably going to catch on pretty good, but I don't know how often you'll have times to kind of put together your Lego pieces and make sure everything is good to go, rather than just having a plate or placard set up for whatever. So I'm going to take a certain platform. I'm already going to have my placard ready to go and just slap it on my kit and go. So that's my personal preference. But again,
You bring up a good point because then I have one, like you're saying, I just have a whole setup that's just ready to rock.
And
You know
in
what I'm
this
saying? You
the
just throw it
thought
on
process, Cody thought process compared to mine, neither one is right or wrong.
No,
But like
it's
if
just the
you look
preference.
and if you look at what we have, I decided to go a different route than Cody. So Cody is more of I want to get pretty much for the most part, Cody, I want to get different gun all in the same caliber. So Cody is that guy that has multiple guns in the same caliber, where he only needs a certain, pretty much 9mm and 5.56, right, Cody?
Right.
So he even has, a bunch of gun in 9mm, a bunch of gun in 5.56. I went the other route. Like if I'm scavenging for ammo, I want to be able to find ammo and use it in my gun. So I sat down and wrote a list of every common round that I think that I would find if I'm scavenging for ammo, and I have a gun for that. I have everything from 380 all the way up to 45 in pistol, including 357 and 38 special. I have all your common round: 40, 9mm, 45, 380, 357, 38 special. Like I have a gun for all of that. And then my rifle on the same way. I have 30-06, I have 308, I have 5.56, I have 7.62 by 39. I even have a little 17. I have a 22. I have a single shot 223. I have all the different calibers. So where Cody, he's like, oh, I would just want a placard. He would only have to buy 3 placards for all of his setup.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to buy 8 placards for all my setup. Like just trying to run my AR-10 mag, my AR-15 mags, all my different pistols. Dude, I have like 5 different guns just in 9mm. So, and they all take different they all take different magazines. So there's no right or wrong. Just know your gear and what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Joe, I like how your strategy revolves around everyone else just not surviving. Like, I'll be fine. I have everybody else's stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that is my strategy. It's going to be a fend for yourself and scavenge type of thing.
And a large amount of our people use drive-throughs. I'm just counting on everyone that uses the drive-through because they're going to give me free stuff.
Yeah.
So Harry did say to you, Mike's Hawk swollen. It's just the second week he's had the same YouTube. He hasn't done anything bad to get banned lately.
He's been behaving.
Yes. It says, my back plate always winds up sitting lower after moving around. It must be my Greek godlike physique. Yes.
That can be a problem. I don't have the big gut to push it up. What you can try and put more weight on the front of your vest. I know that sounds counterproductive, but put a couple extra magazines on the front of your vest to see if it helps.
Yeah, it does happen though. I've seen it before I put my placards and stuff on. Sometimes I'll have one that keeps going to the back.
Yeah, if your body type, or try different plates. Try one of the more rounded plates. I know it's expensive to do that, but like we already talked about, if you have cheap plates, then just give them to your spouse in a plate carrier and try some different plates to see if that helps.
I think Misfit had a comment that kind of got buried in there too, asking about multi-curve versus flat plates. And I'm gonna tell you, it's really just a comfort thing. I don't think there's really a ballistic thing advantage to it, but it's I think of it like a comfortable holster for a concealed carry. You're going to carry the comfortable holster more often, right? And I kind of think of the same way when I wear my multi-curve plates. I'm always like, damn, this is so comfy. It's just a lot more comfortable. I will lean much more to number one priority is going to be weight. So if I see a really comfortable plate that weighs 8.5 pounds, like the new RMA 115s, I think they're multi-curve, but they weigh 8.5 pounds. So I'm not going to get those. But if there's a nice lighter weight multi-curve, multi-curve's a little more expensive, I'm going to go multi-curve because it's significantly more comfortable. Particularly when you get in some of the lighter weight carriers, when they get like the K19 is different because it's bulky, right? You don't have to worry about so much because it's already bulky. But when you get to the LV119s, the Cry SPCs, when they really get minimal, the non-multi-curve plates, they're not nearly as the whole plate carrier degrades because the plates themselves aren't multi-curve. So minimalistic carriers, super important. K19 that you're getting, not as important. It doesn't. I'm fine with regular old single curve plates.
Yeah, and it depends on your mission set. We keep saying that a million times, but I'm going to be honest with you, it does. Like Cody and I are completely built differently. Walsh and I are completely built differently. Walsh works out a lot. I'm not taking anything away from Walsh, but in our little fire team, if we needed somebody to go 10 miles, who would we send?
Me or you?
Yep.
Probably me and you. We're fire team recon.
Right. Yep. So I'm gonna build my stuff different than Cody is. That's just the way it is. These aren't multi-curve plates. They do fine, but I'm gonna use the plates in this carrier. I'm honestly, I really want to get the frass plates from what's their faces.
Safelite?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Try this.
I really want to get them because they flex, they move, they're super expensive. And I want to shoot them to see if they hold up and will at these two. But I want to get them for my Gray Ghost kit because that's going to make me move faster and lighter.
And you bring up a good point. Like if you told me, like, mission dictates gear. If you told me, hey Walsh, we need to hold this position, we're going to hold this location. Like, okay, copy. I'm going to get my K19. We're going to deck this thing out, and I'm going to be in a hold maneuver. The same if Joe said to me, hey Walsh, me and you, we got to trek up 10 miles, scope it, and then trek our happy asses back, and we got 2 hours to do it in. I'm going to be like, whoa, I'm going to get the lightest thing possible that can still protect me in some way, shape, or form if things go sideways. And there exist missions where maybe someone would think you would just bring a chest rig. But if I think they're going to be a firefight, I have to imagine I have to be able to participate on both sides of that firefight, sending and receiving. So I would say I would do the lightest plates, lightest setup I could possibly run while still getting protection. But that's me. Right, that's just what I would do. We could have somebody in our team who just runs with socks on, and it's like, all right, well, rocket, bro, let's go. Come on, hurry up. We got 10 miles to go.
I'm gonna tell you, if you're leaving the camp with just socks on, I'm gonna tell you, if you go down, I'm not stopping.
I think that's the rule. Like, all right,
yeah.
See
if you tried everything that you could and you went down, then I'll use my IFAC on you. If you leave with just socks on, I'm not using my IFAC on you. Like. Piss poor planning on your part doesn't make an emergency on mine. So,
Misfit, are you saying that this is the plate carrier you wore this weekend?
Yeah, that's the one I was showing you. That's why. And when Joe said how to fix it, we had gotten kind of off the rails a little.
Yeah. No, I mean, it has Velcro cummerbund, which you can definitely tighten down. If when you were tightening it down, the Velcro aren't touching, then open up the back and tighten it down more. Because even if there's an inch gap in that Velcro in the front, that's better than it touching. Because once they're touching, you either have to overlap it and make it uncomfortable to get tighter. So, like mine right now isn't loose as it's going to get, or it's almost too loose because when I really tighten it down, it touches. Because I'm just sitting here and I'm trying to keep the weight off my shoulder, it's actually overlapping. So I could actually probably tighten this down a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's okay if there's a little bit of a gap. I would rather have a little bit of gap in the center than no gap, because with no gap, that's as tight as you're going to get it.
And like Joe was saying, you can make those adjustments in the back of that cummerbund if you need to.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But I know Misfit's pretty skinny, so.
Yeah. I would adjust as far as you can in the back and then try to get it no tighter than what it's showing there on the picture there. Like when it's as tight as possible, because then you don't get any overlap. But again, you'll see that cummerbund style probably gives you some leeway too, because I think that actually stretches a little bit. And we'll talk about that on the Cry SPC. That's why it's so popular, because it has the structural cummerbund, which kind of deviates from the K19 style. There's really two different camps. There's like the structural cummerbund camp, and then there's the adjustable cummerbund camp. I don't know. I kind of sit in both pretty comfortably, but that one too looks like it has some give there. So we'll show some of that as we go too. Joe, did you see this? Did you see this comment from Harry? It says, "Would you cut that flap off, Joe?"
Yeah, I think. Yep, I'm sitting here. I didn't.
Show them how to connect it. Show them how you connect it. How annoying!
It's so annoying, man. I want them to change what they're doing with their lives. See, now I've kind of stretched this out, and now that feels super loose. So that's touching. What I'm talking about is if you tighten it down and you're like sucking in and doing everything you're supposed to, and there's a gap in between like that, it's fine. Look, it's fine. There's no Velcro showing on either side.
Do it tight and then put that flap on though. It's gonna be impossible.
It's so hard to do with. Now I have to tighten it. I stretched it. I'm gonna have to tighten it before my run.
Impossible for you.
Maybe I shouldn't, because I had to loosen it.
Put that
Okay, so this is male. This is the hook part.
Yeah.
So it catches the loop underneath. I do like that so it doesn't tear up your shirts all the time. But when you're trying to put this under, I get it so tight that there's no room. And then you got to shove it under and the hook grabs onto your shirt.
on the backside. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was actually the best I've done it. Y'all are welcome.
Yeah.
Y'all are welcome. That's the best I've done it.
Yeah, I would cut that. I mentioned that in my video. I would cut the flap off. It doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't do anything. I don't know.
I actually looked at it. There's a thick piece of material that helps you like reach under there and grab it and pull it. I'd want that thick piece of material on the part that I cut. So I was kind of looking on how to pull out the sewing machine, cut that material off, cut the plate carrier, sew it down so it doesn't keep fraying, and then sew that strap into it. I just can't be bothered enough to do that right now.
I literally,
because this is going to be my I need to hold that position plate carrier, my tank. So this is my tank armor. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Y'all will know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put the money into my other plate carrier for right now. Like anything that I buy right now or anything that I do, I'm going to put into the other plate carrier first because I live in Colorado. But if I were to bug out, I'm not going to the mountains, or I guess it wouldn't matter, but they're massive flats all east of me. That's where I'd be headed, and we're talking trekking a long ways. So I'm going to get as far as I can with my truck. Hopefully my truck stays together and doesn't run out of gas. But eventually you're not going to have gas. You're going to have to do everything on foot. And I know my mission set. My mission set will always be the let's go 10 miles that way, and will be less of the tank.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, so we got a different question. I think they're sending us off the rail. Different question, and I don't know if any of us can really answer this question yet. But he says, "I have a 10.5. What suppressor do you guys recommend? I'm looking mostly at reducing muzzle flash for nighttime. I'm looking for one under 1K with the alphabet voice text stamp." I wish Jason was around. I'll be honest with you. He's kind of our expert. I'm starting to dabble into this. I did a 11.5 with a, what is that? The Sandman K, which is currently in jail. But I don't know. I don't know enough about them to give you some really good advice as to which ones are the better ones. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys have better tips, and I got nothing. But
No,
I don't have experience.
I can get an answer for you because I know people that use suppressors a lot. Yeah, I mean, taking away muzzle flash, any suppressor will do that. Any suppressor will greatly reduce muzzle flash at night, but you're never going to get rid of all of it. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I saw. I don't remember who was talking. I think it was Misfit that's talking to me. The Turbo K by Yankee Machine. I think the name of it. Their suppressor is super cheap. And then somebody did a comparison of like a whole bunch of high end ones, and like the sound suppression from them was superior to all of the others, and they were like a third the cost of the big guys. So I had already got all my stuff. I was like, well, dang it, I should have just gotten that one. Like.
Yeah, I would look at how it's designed and look at cleaning and maintaining a suppressor more than anything else, because you do have to clean it, you do have to maintain it. And when you're having to use wrenches and stuff to tear it all apart, when you have 50 different baffle in there that you have to scrub down and let soak and everything else, that's kind of a pain compared to like the one with just the chamber that look like the fuel filters. So even if something doesn't work quite as well, for me, it would be a ease of maintenance over sound suppression. Like if there's only 5 decibel difference, I mean, we talk at what, 80 decibels, I think. So if there's only a 5 decibel difference, then I'm going with the latter one, that's easier to clean.
Good point. I think that's a good point. I think that's the interesting thing to see is like when you're up there, and I think don't quote me on this, but even every decibel up an increase and double the amount of sound prior to, so as you get like to 130, like 135 to 136 is way higher than 80 to 85 or 80 to 81. You know what I'm saying? I think it increased incrementally. But I get what you're saying. Where if it's 5, then why get the one that's impossible to take off and impossible to clean? Like, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm dabbling. I don't want to give up my Fourth Amendment right yet. So
I threw mine out the window, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Joe was like, he's like, well, because I was looking at braces, and he's like, Walsh, you already did the tax stamp, just double tax stamp it and just get a nice stock on it. Like, dude, that's a good point. Like, why not? At that point, like, why not?
You already let the ATF into your house, so why not make it an SVR?
Yeah, just do it right. Yeah. Misfit is the defense mechanism video coming out this weekend. Yes, sir. It is. It is coming out Sunday.
I like the idea of a suppressor for inside the house. Real quick. For inside the house, I like the idea of a suppressor. There's 2 different thought processes. There's one like, hey, I want to protect my hearing inside my house, which I agree with. And 2, no, I want to make it as loud and violent as possible so anybody still on the perimeter of my house second guessing what they're about to do with their life. I will say that if you've never been... I shot my gun just one time, my 9mm, out at the range outside without ear pro on just the other day because I wanted to remind myself on what it sounded like, my CZ. It made my ear ring. Now, when your adrenaline is through the roof, when you're in a fight for your life, your body does amazing things. And one of those things is auditory exclusion. You will be just completely surprised on what your ear can handle when you're in a fight for your life. That's all I can say about that. So I don't run suppressor. I don't have them. Outside, like doing zombie apocalypse type things, I'm going to have ear pro on anyway because I have bad hearing and the ear pro enhances my hearing. So I'm going to have it on anyway. I don't care. I mean, yeah, are you giving away your position? Sure, you are. They're 2 different schools of thought, but hopefully during a zombie apocalypse, I stumble upon one. And then I'm not worried about giving up my Fourth Amendment right.
And in reality, and that's the kind
or I make one because they're super easy to make. You just need something to thread onto your barrel, take a tube, drill a whole bunch of holes, put some steel wool. Well, steel wool might catch on fire eventually, but put some type of baffling. You found a car or a motorcycle, rip out the baffling of the muffler and put it in there. Like at that point, I can make a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Just kidding, YouTube.
No,
that's not how you do it.
Just joking. Just joking. It's a joke.
You just see me get tackled and my dog gets shot.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, this is Wizard 1. Yeah, stand down.
Stand down. We're talking about Wizard 1000 things right now.
That's like 1,000 levels. So
Harry Mike was... Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say Harry Mike was asking Misfit about wearing his carrier, or was it... I'm sorry, was wearing the carrier killer or not too bad? So if some of our guys weren't here last week, Misfit went and did a Sunday gun day type of
training class.
Oh no, he did a course, right?
Yeah.
We'll kit it up.
So yeah.
I want to know how many other people were kitted up.
Ooh, that's a good. Yeah, we're
right now.
And the looks that he got when he showed up in full kit.
Well, Joe, look at this comment, and like you learned so much about this. So
Read it down.
He goes, "Yeah, the back of my strap has a metal ring, and it seemed like that was the pressure point. My carrier is pretty tight on my body." He probably would have never known that unless you wore that carrier out there and ran around, did some dumb stuff, and was like, "That is a problem." And what Joe and Cody were talking about, finding a way to solve that, I go modify my gear. If something doesn't work, I am not above cutting it off or like changing it, cutting something, doing something like this doesn't work. Even wrapping it in a softer material, something, I will go and modify my gear and be, okay, now this works, or I'm going to get rid of it and I'm going to get something else.
Yeah.
What was that old
There's a bunch
nursery
of
rhyme?
people that would want your carrier, or there's a bunch of airsofter that want to just put cardboard in their stuff and play their, play airsoft and just sell it and buy something that works better.
Yeah, the famous Misfit Armies plate carrier. You're basically a YouTube star at this point. You're on every week.
But think about that old nursery rhyme, Princess and the Pea, right? He kept stacking those beds up and wasn't uncomfortable, and all it was a pea and all that jazz. So that's essentially what's happening with your plate carrier. You got one little area, even if it's like if you got one spot on your plate that's not equal, or if it's off a little bit, it's going to rub weird. It's going to create hot spots or pressure points or whatever. And it's going to annoy the heck out of you. So,
Yeah.
like Walsh was saying, cut that ring off, or figure out what it's for. It might, I don't know
if
which.
it's something important and the carrier doesn't work, then get a different carrier. And if
Yeah,
it's not important, buy.
Yeah, because like the Paraclete, we had that cable system. Who knows? That thing might have a cable system in it, and that might be the ring to pull the cable out. So
Yeah,
figure out what it's for.
What is he talking about? Let me see if I can see what he's talking about. He said it's on the back of the shoulder.
Yeah. It sounded like where the shoulder strap meets.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
see
it's
a ring though, but maybe it's what's
And I'll
connecting.
tell you,
So much fabric on that shoulder. I'm telling you right now.
that material is probably pretty warm too.
Yeah,
how much is that?
There's
How
a
much is
lot.
that thing?
Like LBX, that's probably a lot. 229. That's not too bad.
300. Yeah.
But that's a lot of shoulder stuff.
Yeah. Dedicate that to somebody else in your house, and
he's like, I
get a
really like
K19.
that carrier. Well, he did get he got a K19. He's on the way, so I guess he's already.
Oh, then you already solved your own problem. Dedicate that
right.
to somebody in your house. I don't. If my wife was wearing a plate carrier that was uncomfortable, it would be kind of like a too bad type thing. Like, keep it on. Too bad.
Ooh, Joe, he brings up another good one. He says, Mike, it was hot as hell, but I did it. The biggest issue was working on my shouldering my rifle. I just had to put it on the plate carrier.
Yep.
And
that's what I do. Walsh doesn't. That's what I do.
Yeah, yep. I talk about it. I try to shoulder every time, and every carrier, I think, except for the Spiritus LV-119, the shoulder pad was a problem. And I really do like hooking it underneath. I think it makes a more stable platform overall anyway. And that's kind of the way I trained into it. I really asked Joe and Cody, and I was like, am I doing this wrong by doing it? Like, no. That's a perfectly fine way to do it. Sometimes that's where you have to do it.
Yep. It depends on your body build. I can't do that because then it's on my collarbone. Like if I try to hook it in here on my collarbone and it moves away, my rifle moves around way more than if I have it just on the pad. I'm a different body build than Walsh. Here's the deal. It doesn't affect my first shot. It affects my second shot. If you have good shooting fundamentals, you can hold the rifle out. You cannot even, grip it, have your hands wrapped around it. You can just hold it like this, and as long as you can pull the trigger with good shooting fundamental, your first round going to hit where you want it to. It's going to be the follow-up shots that's the problem. So when I have it on here, the follow-up shots are a problem. If I shoot without a vest, I'm much more faster with follow-up shots. But it's just something that's okay with me.
And that's
the same.
Go ahead, Cody. Sorry.
That's the same. Like all your platforms and stuff when you're shooting from like the kneeling position or the Indian style or whatever. You don't want to put bone on bone. You want to put muscle on muscle because it gives you a more stable shooting platform. That same thing goes for like what Joe was saying about putting it on his collarbone. That's bone. That's a stock on a piece of bone that's going to move around a lot more rather than like the meaty part of the pocket of your shoulder. But a lot of people that your plate carrier covers that area up. So again, it's just training.
And Milspec Mojo did it where he was actually putting the stock. He was actually putting a stock on the inside where the plate is. So then when his actual shoulder and plate carrier come together, it acts like a pin, like a vice motion. I was like, oh, that works. It doesn't work for my body type though, just the way everything sits. And I have a meaty chest, so it actually like works out in my favor. But if you can get it over, that's a great way to. He's just a smaller guy, and it worked great for him.
I know in the video that doesn't look like my right, but this is my right side. I'm right-handed. So normally when I shoot, I've been trained to put my armor towards the bad guy. So I shoot like that with or without a vest, and I get down into my gun, right? So I hunch forward. I do this. I can't hold it for very long. I don't care. But this is what I do, right? So normally vertically right here, when I'm wearing a plate carrier, I cant the rifle in just a little bit. So then it sits across. Sorry, everything backwards in this stupid video. So then it sits across like this. I'm over exaggerating it, but it sits across like this. So the stock or whatever I'm using it has more contact area, and when I go forward, it actually doesn't make contact with body parts. But
Cool.
all you got to do is go out without a plate carrier, fire rapidly, but do like 10 rounds, fire rapidly on steel. Make sure that you hit all 10. Then put your plate carrier on and just work on doing the same thing. And change the position of your rifle. You might have to cant it in, you might have to cant it out. You might have to put it, move your plate carrier over with the stock, just move it over like this so it gets back where you normally have it. That's fine too.
Mm-hmm. So Misfit has another one, Joe. I'm curious what your thoughts on this. A 300 blackout sub setup with can would be perfect for home defense, or just go with a 12.5 308 to make everyone's ears bleed. I would love. I'll tell you what. I think a little 308 14-inch, 15-inch battle rifle would just be brutal.
Yeah, in maybe in our Connex village, or when I live out in the middle of the woods by myself, that would be fine. I'm not going to shoot somebody inside my house with a 308 because when the crap is hitting the fan, you don't know where your loved ones are.
Ooh,
you could have planned like, I will never shoot in this direction, but something go bump in the night, you get up, somebody kicking in your front door, you fire, and you didn't know that your spouse or one of your kids went to the fridge to get a glass of water. I'm not going to shoot a 308 in my house.
I was thinking more. I just don't want to like blow out my TV just from like the concussion blast. But great, everything.
Yeah. Now I can't play video games anymore.
Yeah, now the important stuff. Yeah.
Now I did buy a 10.5-inch 5.56 for one of my home defense guns. I'm trying to cut the barrel. I'm trying to use a shorter barrel to reduce the feet per second a little bit on that. Yeah, it's hard, man, with rifle cartridges. I have a 308, or I have a 300 blackout also. It's down here in the locker. I don't even have it set up anymore for my home defense.
But I know we mentioned it before in the past, like for home defense, sometimes like a $200 Remington 870, that's why it's used in almost every movie. That's the most recognizable sound in a dark room possible.
Yep.
Somebody racking a pump action shotgun. And that may be enough.
If you only have one gun for home defense, I'm 100% on page with Cody and make it a shotgun. It's cheap. What did I just find that Maverick 88, the Mossberg Maverick 88 for? I just found it for like $230. The tactical one with the longer tube, and it had OD or Flat Dark Earth stock and pump on it for $220. I have a Maverick 88 in the closet. I just watched a video on the Maverick 88. They tried to melt it down with 500 rounds, and it did not do. It was flawless. I don't know why am I going crazy. I paid $170 for mine back in the day, but yeah, 12 gauge with some birdshot in it, man. It's gonna really mess up whoever you're pointing it at. Drywall will pretty much, especially 2 sheets of drywall, will pretty much stop all the pellets. If it even penetrates, and if it doesn't, it's not really gonna cause that much harm. Get a choke, go out and shoot your gun and get the choke that you want for it. I'm a huge fan of shotgun with chokes, with removable chokes, changeable chokes. Because what you're shooting, steel or lead, it changes the pattern. So just go out and get your gear and know what you want and know what you're doing in your house. I won't shoot a 308 because I live in a subdivision where I'm probably going to kill a neighbor.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. I understand where you're at. Cody, Andrew has a good comment. I don't know if you want to read that one. I'd love to have your input on. I know you've seen that video too.
Yeah, so he's saying John Lovell from Warrior Poet has a great video on suppressors for home defense. He has some really good points about why he does not run one for home defense. I think that goes along to what we're all kind of saying is, and I don't know, I'm just not a proponent for it. They are cool. I like shooting them, but I don't want to pay the extra money to have one. I'm not trying to sneak around and be a Snake from Metal Gear Solid or James Bond or any of that business. So,
yeah.
That's just my opinion on it. And same thing with John Lovell. I think he's along that same thought process. Like, I don't really need it.
You kind of want to go loud. Like, why would you want to go
Yeah.
quiet in a home defense scenario? You don't want to go quiet. You want to go loud. Like,
Mhm.
let everybody
It
know.
Yeah, so
lets
I mean-
everybody in your house know that something's wrong. It lets everybody outside your house know that something's wrong. Hopefully, my neighbor are calling the police. If
Yeah.
I didn't get
I was
to
just
it,
going to
you
mention
know?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got nosy neighbors and they're like, hey, I know Cody and his wife have a ton of guns and I just heard a couple pop off. So, are
Yeah,
you guys okay?
And
Cause I'm
even
saying-
if they're not calling the police, then they're becoming witnesses, right?
Right.
So after a couple round, and then I'm yelling, drop the gun, get out of my house, stop fighting me, whatever I'm yelling and screaming in my house, don't move, whatever. Then they're going to be, after they wake up from the gunshots, they're going to be good witnesses for when the cops show up. They're going to be like, well, I don't know what happened. I heard a loud bang that I thought was gunfire, and then I heard don't move. I heard him tell somebody else, get out of my house, whatever it may be.
and I'll say
Everybody's
this-
ring cam footage.
Yeah, and it's not like, for me, it's not abnormal to go in my backyard and even near nighttime or near dark to be shooting airsoft. And my airsoft CO2 probably sounds like a 22, like a silenced 22, but it's not quiet. You could probably hear it from inside your house. Like, it sounds like someone is outside just ripping off shots, and they don't say anything. So they probably wouldn't be all that surprised in my scenario to be like, oh yeah, well, she's doing some drama out in the yard. I wouldn't necessarily want that scenario. Like, no, that doesn't sound right over there. So,
Yeah.
I think it really depends.
I mean,
I want
even
everybody awake. I want everybody scared. I want everybody thinking what's going on, and I want everybody calling the police. That's what I want.
Simultaneously.
So my neighbors, like, there's a group of us that we're pretty courteous. So like, if I go outside and pop a raccoon or a possum, I'll follow that up like, hey, that was me. I'm shooting at a raccoon or a possum. I let them know that, what's going on. But again, if they know that if they hear something like that and they don't get a response, then something bad may have happened. So
All right, Cody, cook us through some more of these comments. I think there's some good ones.
yeah. So Misfit's saying that half his class had plate carriers, everyone else had chest rigs, only 2 guys had a built.
Only a belt. Pretty good then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He said
So-
the ring
okay,
is
so the-
attached. Oh, go ahead, Cody.
He's saying the ring was attached to the back plate bag. The shoulder strap is threaded through the ring. Okay.
Upgrade time.
So is it metal or plastic? Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of them are like that. I don't know. I like the buckles. Like, so Joe's has buckles, and so the strap runs through the buckle, and then he can run it back through the shoulder pad. But I can see where some of them would have that D ring where you can just take it
Loop
and
it through.
pull it tighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to get off than it is.
What was the one? I showed one like that. I don't know which one it was, but yeah, there was one like that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, this is a good one.
So Gen Z, saying he hates shopping for plates and plate carriers because they're all way too small for him. He's 6'3", 270, and the 12x14s barely fit him.
I'll tell you what, though. There's no way your chest is 14 inches long. So make sure you're, like, we talk about covering the vitals. Like, what does that mean? So even on, this is my 10x12, when we talk about where this plate carrier ends, okay? Like, this is my belly button. This is where you can't even see the bottom of my pants, right? We're talking about covering vitals. We're not talking about covering your entirety of your body. Like, here is my neck. Here's my belly button. Okay, here's the bottom. Here's where my pants start off, kind of there, bottom of the camera. So I'm not trying to cover my entire chest area. So I think that's maybe something that I think a lot of the bigger guys still end up getting wrong. That there's no way that doesn't cover you. Like, you got to be like, your vitals would be just like spilling out of your arms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of us,
Think
I don't
about
think
your rib cage. Your rib cage covering what? Your rib cage covering your lungs. So your lungs are tucked up inside your rib cage. This is like, the outside of my rib cage, but like I don't know what I'm called, where your ribs come together in a point underneath and way up underneath here. So I'm protecting from right here where you can do that, down to past where my ribs come together at the bottom. That's
Like
what I'm
right here?
protecting.
That's the bottom of my rib.
Yeah.
On the side here. Like,
Yep.
we're not going like excessively low here.
Yeah.
And a lot
So
of these,
when
the
you put
higher
on-
end plate carriers. Go ahead. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Cody. No, go.
Okay. I was just gonna say a lot of the higher end plate carriers, they got a lot of adjustability in the shoulders and the cummerbund. So don't be afraid to let that stuff out, make it fit you. I'm sure there's a lot of people on YouTube that are similar in size to you. Unfortunately, I think maybe Jason might be the tallest one out of our group, and he may be 6 foot. So we can't really help you in that department. But if you had some tactical girth, maybe I could help you. But
Cody
Or-
needs to put on- he needs to put
Or
his carrier.
find something else that works for you. I mean, if you're willing to spend the money, then just go to Safe Life, like we're talking about, and get that whole frass setup. So they sell two different things. They sell a frass setup that built just for the plate carrier, right? That's one of them. That's like $1,000. And then they sell. It looks like what cops wear. So it looks like 3A, where it wraps around the entire side. So it's the whole piece that wraps around each side and everything. That's over $2,000, but supposedly that stops rifle round.
That's a lot, though. That's a lot.
I know, man. That's a lot of money, but if you want to cover everything, that's the way to do
I
it.
think the important part is that 12x14 is pretty standard. So most plate carriers are going to fit that size plate. If you go bigger than that, you're going to have more of a hard time finding plate carriers that'll accept that kind of plate. So
Yeah.
be aware of that.
You'll have to go proprietary with the company that made the plate.
So okay, so and just I'm gonna skip a couple comments, just skipping down so
Go
we can
ahead.
continue this conversation. He's saying it's not the length, it's the width, and I can't get good coverage. It doesn't even cover my nipples, which is from what I read is what it's supposed to cover. So yeah, because you're still gonna technically you're gonna have the same width as me, where this is like, where like I'm right here. Mine doesn't really cover it completely either. I mean, my plates don't really.
Yeah.
But
Then look at getting some soft armor, some 3A, putting that underneath, and then putting this over top. To where, some plate carrier are actually designed to fit both 3A and this in it. You can find those. Where you can just wear 3A and then you can put the level 4 plates inside of it, and then at least protecting your heart with the plate. And then the 3A, you can buy it a lot bigger. The 3A will stop handgun rounds.
Yeah, and 3A is a lot more fit to your size. So if you get some legit stuff, you're gonna go to a tailor and get measured out and all the other stuff. It's a lot more made to order than a 12x14 plate.
Yeah, and if you don't know what we're talking about, just go online and look at like Second Chance.
Yeah.
Look at a Second Chance vest. 3A designed to go underneath your clothing. It stops up to 357 Magnum most of the times. And you can incorporate that into a specific plate carrier that's designed to go over the clothes. So you can put the 3A inside of that, and you can put a plate inside of that. It's not going to be all tactical like these ones for the most part, but it'll at least work.
Yeah. And I'm sure Gen Z probably seen Bravo Tech. He's commenting in the comments. He sounds like he's similar in size to you, and he's offering to check out the AR 500 Testudo. I'm not going to say that right. Testudo Gen 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the dad in the room that says like there may come a time with those people who are in this chat will need to fight on our side, and if it came to that, I need you to be a fighting shape, right? So if you can't fight and perform, if you can't run a mile straight up anytime I say, hey, let's go run a mile, that will make you a liability. So if you are at a health level where you are a liability, the last thing you need to worry about is your plate carrier. If we can't run 2 miles, plate carrier or not, then whether or not you have a plate carrier doesn't matter because you're not going to make it.
No, you're going to be alone.
And there's no
There's
way
some guy that fussed at me and wanted to, in that first belt video I did, I had somebody heckling me in there about my fitness.
You're going to hurt everybody. And I think there's a level to it. Like, hey, there's a certain level of having a comfortable thing, a comfortable weight. And then there's some weights, which is majority of America, that is not a comfortable weight. Most people can't go out there and just go run. Like, hey, let's go run a couple miles. Let's just trek it out so we can be ready for it. So if you have trouble with your plate carrier fitting, I'm going to be that dad. I'm going to be that person. I'm sorry. Start looking at your fitness. There are some really good programs. There's some really good things. Me and Joe, we're a good team to each other, that we keep each other motivated, and we really challenge each other. Like we give each other our times, and we're like, damn, that's a good time. I got to go run. Even if I'm not supposed to be running fast, I want to run fast. Disregard. He plays college football. So he's big because he's a huge ass boy.
He's good shape.
Yeah. Different problem.
Yep. I would say still wear, if nothing else, still wear a plate carrier because it's going to protect some at least. Mm-hmm. You might catch a round in the side of the lung, which would really suck. But you know, then they're shooting at, if this much of your lung is sticking out on each side, right? Then they're shooting at a target like this. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, if I see anybody with a plate carrier, I'm not worried about trying to get a double lung heart. I'm not worried about any of that. I'm aiming for the face.
And like you can see, like me and Joe are wearing the same size plate and plate carriers, and you know, having different size body, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. Like he's just gonna be less of him to clip. There's gonna be more of me to clip. But like the big meaty stuff, like, Walsh, your shoulders are full of rounds. Like, hey Joe, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Like, get the quick clot.
Maybe you like have everything like plugged in gauze right here. He's like, Walsh, what are you doing? Like, it's not vital. It's not vital. We're fine. Don't worry.
Plate carrier are for the round that you didn't see coming. That's what it's for. It's to catch one round, move off the X, and the one that you didn't see coming. I strongly believe that if I'm ever shot in the plate, I think it'll be either like clearing something where like somebody pops up and gets the jump on me, or I'm going to get shot in the back. That's what I think. I'm going to get shot in the back.
I play college football. You're a legit badass.
AKA shut up.
You can take your dad comment and show it.
Like, hey dad, shut up.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But hopefully Gen Z, you're in an area where you could maybe go out to some gun stores or something like that and say, hey, can I take a look at some of your vests, and really pay attention to how the shoulder straps are adjusted, how the cummerbund is adjusted, being that you're a taller.
Don't look at the types of vests. Don't look at them. There's literally just go on Google and type in Second Chance, right? They're one of the big companies. I like their stuff. They fit well. You'll have an undershirt carrier for that 3A armor, and then you'll have an over carrier for that 3A armor. And the over carrier is designed to fit that 3A, but then it'll just have just a rudimentary, like the flaps up here, and you open it up and you just slide a plate into it and close it, like in the front and the back. I would be looking at stuff more like that than I would be this type of stuff.
Probably more realistic in a real environment too.
How tall is Grand Thumb? He seems like a taller fellow.
I think he's short. He was at Demolition Ranch the other day, and he didn't seem super tall, but it's probably 6'2", 6'1".
Well, that's taller. So maybe, I mean, I'm sure there's some taller YouTube creators out there that you can maybe see what they're running. I would really stick to the 12x14 plate because, like I said, you're going to run into some issues finding the right kind of plate carriers. So
getting them wider, like I don't see them wider than 12, and I see a lot of them. Yeah. They're longer, obviously, to fit a 14, but they're rarely.
And maybe you have an X-ray of your body because you can see your lungs and stuff in an X-ray. So if you've ever gotten an X-ray, pull that up and figure out where everything in your body
measure
is.
It. Yeah, and then use the X-ray.
Oh, you can use points like your shoulder, your collarbone. Like, oh, look, my lungs run right up along the side of my collarbone. My collarbone out here, my plate's over here. Like, that's not going to work.
Hey, so we have been going about an hour and a half, Cody. I have a video I have to finish because they're already hawking me about it. I didn't know if we want to wrap it up. If you had a couple more things you guys still want to talk about. I know Joe always hates. He's like, well, just keep going forever. I have to finish.
No, I think that was great. We had a couple of new guys that showed up. Shout out to Gen Z. We appreciate your questions. Hopefully you come back next week.
We thank him for playing football.
Yeah. Let us know what team you play for. Maybe hopefully it's not somebody that we don't root for.
Yeah.
I'm an LSU fan, so.
What if he's on your team? Like, wait a minute, I know this.
I'd freak out.
He probably will.
I'd get a little fangirlish real quick.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hey.
Anyway, go ahead, Walsh. What you got coming up?
So like I said, we have the defense mechanisms video coming out. I know I have my 10 pistol tips. I think it's going to be delayed out a little bit. I apologize. I got some family coming in town, so I'm gonna kind of got to space some videos out a little bit more. They're still coming, but we're just going to space them out. And I have so much stuff in the pipeline. Just working it. If there's stuff you really want to see, just keep nagging me about it. Oh yeah, he's gonna have to answer that one. The t-shirts. I got a hold of so our t-shirt maker got a hold of me today. Let me know the t-shirts were live. I was gonna like go through the whole rigmarole, getting a prototype, doing everything. I was like, you know what? Let's just send this thing out. We're gonna sell these. I'm gonna buy my own. So the t-shirts are live. While Joe is talking, I will get you. Okay. So sorry for the comments. I'll get you the link to our t-shirts as Joe's talking and sharing the stuff. So if you want to get our cool skeleton shirt, Cody, you said you got the orange one with the skelly. Is that what you said you got? That's gonna be pretty awesome.
The burnt orange, yeah.
Yeah. So there's the skelly shirt, and then there's a different TLD style with our logo and stuff on it. So I had to do 2 different ones just to add to the website. So they're pretty awesome. Those are a lighter shirt style. So if you like a lighter, more breathable shirt, they're really light. They're a little more expensive because we wanted her to go the top end for quality. So you're not just going to get some junk. Get the Gildan shirts. I hate those. So we try to get something a little bit nicer. Joe, over to you. I will get everybody a link while you're talking.
You're asking about the plan for the Claymore, walking Claymore shirts, right? The plan is I want to do it. That's as far as I've gone in the plan. I need to design it. I need to get them made. I need to save up the money to buy however many I'm going to shoot. And then I need to order them and then go out and shoot them. And I'm telling you right now, with working 12-hour shifts and working the midnight shift, so even on my days off, like right now it's my morning. I'm drinking an energy drink because it's my morning. I got to go to Walmart. I got to change the oil on my truck. I got to figure out a time to mow my yard. I got, it adds up. The plan is there. I really want to make those. I'm not going to do a lot of them. I'm probably going to do 1 2X, 2 extra large, and 3 larges. Minus in addition, whatever the team wants to buy, because they'll have to buy them out of their own pocket and send them to me. But one of them larger will probably stay mine. So, I mean, I'm not talking a lot of shirts. I'm talking 5 or 6 of them. Very limited run. And then once I get it all designed and stuff, then you can buy and shoot your own. But the ones that I actually shoot, they're going to be very limited, and they're going to be kind of costly, more than probably I would want to pay for a shirt. I'm guessing here they're going to be between $50 and $60, and that's going to be like no money to me, really. I'm not going to make anything off of that.
It's
so
cool, though. It's still be cool. Maybe we can.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it limited. I want to do all that. Here's the real. Here's the real. I'm hoping to have that done within the next 12 months. That's the real.
Yeah, we need to go way faster than that.
Well, then start doing your designing, because I don't have time to do it.
I will work on it.
I can't design it. I don't even know what it's going to say. So throw in the comments, like, what do you want it to say? You want the front say, do you want the front to say, what do you call somebody that wears metal armor, and then in the back, walking Claymore? I don't know. We need your guys' input.
I think it'd be cool to do like a shadow outline of a 10x12 plate, and then just say like walking Claymore, and put like AR-500 steel or something. I don't know. It's something cool we can do. I'll throw some ideas out there.
Tell you what, we'll talk about it. We'll vote on it next week on the show. We'll have some ideas.
Put them in the comments next show, so then Walsh can start designing.
You see
Once I have this shirt, going out and shooting it will only take me a couple weeks. But like I said, it's hard, man, because even if I go to range at 8 o'clock in the morning, that's 8 o'clock at night for me. And I'm getting up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I've already been up forever.
Did you see it?
Like, just trying to pick up my wife from the airport ended up being a 22-hour day for me.
See 12 Bravo. He says I'm down for the price as long as all 3 of you sign it. There's 4. Technically, we need all 4, but I'd be game for that. That'd be cool. Actually,
Yeah,
have
that's
those
fine.
signed.
See,
That would
then
be
it'll be more money. Because I'm not
Yes.
lying to you here. I would have to I'd have to shoot it,
Mail
sign it, mail it to Jason. He would have to sign it, mail it to Walsh. Cody and Walsh live relatively
we mail it
close,
to
so
you.
they can both sign it, and then we'd have to mail it to you. And that's
Or-
$5 to $10 every time we mail it.
Or we just all come visit you and we make it fun, and then we all sign all the shirts.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Or Joe comes to Nebraska.
Yeah, well,
Which I might have to do,
he doesn't leave
actually.
the state that often. All right, gentlemen. Well, I gotta go get some stuff done, get some work done before bed. It's great talking to everybody. I think it's a great chat. I love getting to sit in our gear, talk about it. Hopefully, all you guys out there in video land are out there in your gear too, so you have a good excuse to put everything on, try it out, see what works, see what doesn't. Last thing you want to do is find out it doesn't work when you actually need it.
Yeah. Hey, but Gen Z,
yeah.
let me know where you go, man. I'll follow you. I'll watch. Appreciate it. Again, he's saying Texas Tech or Middle Tennessee.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm watching Friday Night Lights, the show on Netflix. I like it.
Just assume you're watching Gen Z prepper just murdering it.
Right.
Walsh, you put the link for those shirts down in the comments or what?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So it's in the comments if you want one of those shirts.
Yeah, grab some t-shirts.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna get some more logos and cool stuff with the Skelly design going too. So we're gonna try and get more of that as we move on. So
yeah, we just need to recoup some of the money it took to design that shirt.
Yeah.
And then we'll
All
keep
right.
going with it.
Great chat, guys. We appreciate you guys coming out. Be safe. Take care of your families. And we'll see you next week.
later, everyone.
Cool. Later.